What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Endless Entrepreneurs YouTube channel. My name is Luke Henson, and I am a eBay seller, a real estate investor, and also a consultant in the corporate finance world. The journey of both the first two businesses on this channel, starting to show how they play off each other, and videos specifically like this. If you're tuning in the first time, I try to take any of my finds from the weekends. I go to thrift stores, primarily Goodwill, Salvation Armies, different things like that. Source a lot of inventory to resell on eBay, and I like to just go through kind of the haul and what I got, show you what I think it'll sell for, what I picked it up for, why I picked it up, just in hopes to help anyone who's trying to grow their business, grab a little new brand knowledge of things you haven't sold before. I myself watch a lot of haul videos still, even after selling for as long as I have, just because there's always so much to learn and always many profitable niches that are always evolving. So it's just good to stay on top of that. We are live. I think it's Saturday, February 3rd. Today is actually my wife's birthday, Shannon. So I'm just trying to squeeze in this video before we have plans later tonight. And then hopefully be listening all day tomorrow and watch the Patriots lose to the Eagles, fingers crossed. Looks like everyone's starting to file in here. All right. Someone just said in the chat before you go, I heard they're going to play football during the Justin Timberlake concert tomorrow. Who's your team? It's an interesting perspective. I like that. I will give my Super Bowl prediction reluctantly is 28-21 Patriots. I don't want the Patriots to win, but I think that's what's going to happen. So today, though, I stopped at two Goodwills. In between, we kind of took it easy today. We had a fun night last night. Did some karaoke with some friends and stuff. And so I ended up going out, hit two stores, listed a bunch of items this morning, and ended up getting 3 bags full of clothing. And then I found 3 pretty nice electronic items. I'm starting to branch out into some of the bulkier hard good electronics because the margins are bigger, and just trying to have a good mix going in my store. I will give a shout out to Craigslist Hunter. I actually watched he put a great video out right before year end, just talking about some of the dead stock and sort of kind of the older technologies that aren't being used but are still desired, specifically around like VHSs, the Vhs Dvd Combo type things like that, DVD combos. Just stuff that I hadn't really taken the time to learn about. And I'm realizing that around here in Charlotte, they're so fairly priced that it's really a good idea for me to start learning and getting better in that space. So I picked up a couple of those as well. Someone said they loaded up on Bonobos and Patagonia today. That's a nice haul then. I wish I could load up on that on a regular basis. But let me just jump in because there's quite a bit to get through. I don't want to take a ton of time everyone's night, but I appreciate everyone stopping in. Looks like we got almost 40 watching live. And again, like normal, none of these are in any specific order, so just kind of gonna rip through these. Second store I hit, I only picked up 9 items for $36.90. So not a ton of stuff, but found some pretty quality stuff. Let's just get to it. This was a shirt bought for myself for work, so I'm not gonna show that one. Picked up this Ralph Lauren. It's a classic fit. It's like a green check plaid. Again, I'm not selling these individually anymore. So part of my 2018 business model is I'm really trying to raise my average sell price, kind of by transaction, just to streamline my process and things like that. And but anyway, so I'm just picking Ralph Lauren shirts. I get them for $3.99 in my area. I'm pretty lucky. Everything's flatly priced. So I'm just picking these up and just storing them in my closet. And basically when I get 3 of the same size, I'm not sure how I'm going to do styles yet because there's quite a few different lines. I'm going to end up lining these together and selling them. So here is another Ralph Lauren. And guys, if you want to sell them individually, I mean, if you're patient and you're okay with me in a long tail item, you can still get, I'll get between like 17 and 20 bucks for these still. So if you can get them at the right price or you find them at the bins, it's worth it to pick them up. So here's another Ralph Lauren. And another Ralph Lauren. So just nothing. Actually, I think it was 2 mediums and 1 large. And I've got a couple other larges and mediums in there. So probably make a couple lots tomorrow morning. Anytime I can find Brooks Brothers in white, especially I think this is a size 17. It's short sleeved, no stains, which never happens. I looked this over like crazy. But here's the tag, non-iron. I don't know if you guys will be able to zoom in and see that, but love picking up the Brooks Brothers non-iron stuff. Actually, I've sold 2 slim fit Brooks Brothers shirts for 20 bucks each this week already. So those are always a steady kind of bread and butter type item for me. Found Lucky Brand men's jeans. These are, like I said, I love picking these up. Someone just asked how much for a Ralph Lauren lot. I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on each one. It seems like the going rate is right around like 14. When you lot them together, you're getting about $14 shipped. And the nice part is when you, like, if I do 3 of them, I can fit 3 of those into a cardboard flat rate envelope for $6.50. So it pretty much is only like a little over $2 a shirt to ship. So it's still not bad. And it's less time when you're lotting them together and shipping and such. These Lucky Brand jeans are straight leg 165. They're dark blue, which always helps sell well. They're size 36. I pretty much sell quite a few of these per month, and usually all for $30 price point or more ships. Usually more, actually. I found a Brooks Brothers tie. I don't really skim the ties a ton, but I saw this just kind of popping up to me. I kind of can recognize the Brooks Brothers ones. I don't even have to see the tag. I just kind of can tell looking at them. I'm gonna actually. So I auction ties. It's the one we get free auctions with your Star subscription. So instead of like wasting them and not using them, I actually just put all my ties for like $4.99 and then $5.99 to ship. So I get like $11 a tie for one bid. Or actually, I think I have it priced at $12 I get plus shipping. So I just pick them up when I see them if they look good. Obviously, if I can find vineyard vines or like kind of the home run ties, I'll of course grab them. But Brooks Brothers kind of is like that steady $12 if it jumps out at me. Someone said you and Rox are live at the same time. I picked you to watch him. Well, I appreciate that. Not trying to compete with him. I actually, I don't have notifications on my phone anymore. I need to turn it back on YouTube for when people go live. So I kind of forget sometimes, but appreciate you guys tuning in, and definitely will not be offended if you want to tune in with him and watch me later. It's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure I got some content up because like you said, I haven't done a video in a while. I've literally been sick. I was sick since the day I got back from the wedding. It was 14 days on Tuesday and I couldn't shake it. I finally went to the doctor and got meds. That's just why I haven't had as many videos because I sound like crap. And I've only had enough energy to keep the eBay business going, not do the YouTube as well. So I found a LeBron James jersey. It's pretty faded, but it was $3.99. It's an NBA team, or a Nike team, which is definitely better than like some of the Reebok stuff. There's no stains on it or anything. It's just and it's stitched. It's just faded. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll get for it. With jerseys like this, sometimes I just don't care. Like if I can get 25 for him shipped, like I'm good with that. And I'll sit on it for a long time. I mean, he's obviously popular. I'm also like, I'm a huge sports fan, so I'm like, if I get stuck with a bunch of jerseys I picked up for $3.99, it's like, oh well. Especially like a popular player, it doesn't really bother me. So from more of that standpoint, that's like I have like 60 autographed photos of all these random athletes that I have. I've listed some, not listed others, just because one day I'll frame and put them all over. Someone said a LeBron jersey would look good in the trash. Oh, we got some LeBron haters in the chat. That's great. Either hate him or you love him. Same with Tom Brady and anyone else. Got to respect the greatness is what I always say. So found some vintage Tommy Hilfiger Carpenter shorts, denim shorts. It was pretty sweet. I was just walking through and saw a new rack come out, and so I thought I saw the Tommy flag kind of like out of the corner of my eye. So I walked by and turned up there right there, and so I grabbed them off the rack. They're size 36. These should do well. I mean, probably easily $30 shipped. I'll have to do a little more research because I haven't found them in shorts. I usually find them in jeans. But so that was a sweet find and I only got charged $3.99 for those, which was awesome. Somebody just said, I'm looking forward to your next LL Bean pants update. Yeah, that's long overdue. I have apologized for that. I need to take the time, and the thing is I just have to extract PayPal from the last time I did the update and just do kind of some data cleansing and clean it up so it's a nice little summary. So I'll add that to my to-do list. I'm also excited because we're going to kick off. I'm going to do the first episode of the Reselling to Real Estate series. I have the graphics are done. Thanks to Glenn over at Hustler Hacks. He did an awesome job designing the logos. So we're going to start kicking that off every week. That'll be a weekly show. It's going to be more, I mean, it's going to be on YouTube, but it's going to be dubbed as a podcast as well. So I'll be loading that up as a podcast. And that's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a little different flavor of content, mixing kind of both worlds. We'll see. This other store, I found a ton of blazers. Not a ton. I found like 5, which if I can find 5 in one store, that's usually pretty good for me. So this, again, was on a new rack when we wheeled it out. I normally wouldn't ever buy Stafford, but it's brand new with tags, executive classic fit. navy blue with the gold buttons, $4.99. Couldn't really pass it up. Retails for $200. My guess is I'll get probably around 50 for it, 55. I found a new one with silver buttons that I sold for right on that price point. So I'm guessing I'll probably get somewhere around that. I might price it actually a little higher than that. I got to look at the market though to see if it's flooded with them new tags or not. Found this. This one is a green label Ralph Lauren, but it's kind of like that heavier woven pattern, heavier wool. And it's interesting. It's got like a brighter blue with the brown, like woven check pattern. It's not quite houndstooth. I wouldn't call it that. Kind of like a stitched tweed almost. And it is a size 48 long, which is awesome. That's that big. And definitely is one of those ones where it's like, it probably was a suit jacket. I mean, it has that feel to me. I couldn't tell because the tag was really worn, like if it had a pant size on it. But it's one of those ones that would easily be dubbed as a sport coat, like someone to wear with jeans. So, you know, I can expect $40 to $50 shipped for that. Picked up this Brooks Brothers sport coat. Awesome Glen plaid pattern with some window pane. Let me see if I can, oops. Again, this was a 48 regular, so another big one. Love that. 100% wool. It does have one little flaw in the back. Nothing too crazy. It's just like a tiny, tiny little hole, which I'll notate. Pick these up. Like I said, I get all these for $4.99. So this will I'll probably price this around $69.99 plus shipping is what I'm going to guess. Especially because the size and the style of it. That pattern is very desirable. Oh, here's the receipt for this. You can see not very organized with it. So this one I picked up, let's see, 9, 13. So we got 20 items for $90. And actually what's cool here in Charlotte, another thing that happened, when I was in New York, they had this. They just opened a little while ago, and I saw some posts about it, the Goodwill rewards. So now every $100 you spend, you get $5 off your next order or your next purchase, like it's basically like a credit, which is just awesome. I mean, it's just like getting free cash back. And when I moved down here, it kind of stunk, didn't have it, but all my pricing is so flat and low that it was an okay trade-off. But now having flat, low prices and that is just ridiculous. And here's another green label, Ralph Lauren. And I'm kind of thinking like the same guy donated a bunch of stuff because, again, this is 48 long. It's just navy, or I can't tell if it's navy. I think that's navy. Sometimes it's tough under these lights. So I think this is dark navy blue. Again, probably like $40 ship, 40 to 45. Just plain. I looked for pants for all these to match. I couldn't find them. It's always a part of my routine. Definitely would have sold better with the matching pants. Okay, all right. Last bag of clothes, and then we will shift gears to the electronics, which, by the way, so January sales, I'm going to do a January sales update video. I'm going to try tomorrow before the Super Bowl. If not, I'll probably be on Monday. But my sales are finally starting to pick up. Like, I don't know, like February 1st hit, and it was like, oh, okay, we were pretty slow for all January. I'll help you out. And I had like a $300 day on February 1st. And it's been pretty steady the last 2 days, which has been really nice. And definitely like higher price items too, especially since I've been focusing on what I'm listing. It's been nice to see that the average sale price start to climb finally. These are, didn't notice. Well, I'll have to clean that off the bottom. These are Born leather like clogs with the, someone will help me with keywords. I have to look. I sold this exact pair. It was a little bigger size for $30 plus shipping not too long ago. So I'll probably just look on my sold listings and kind of sell similar. But pick these up for $4.99. Again, trying to mix in more shoes when I can. They're pretty picked over actually at the 2 Goodwills I went to, but I found those. Okay. Let's get through this last bag, and then I'll show you guys the electronics and take some Q&A as usual. All right. So this is Affliction. You probably can tell from those of you saw it just from the designs on it. It's kind of like that waffle knit, like long sleeve shirt. These I always pick up. I think this is I got for the t-shirt price of $1.99, and this will sell for $20 shipped. I just sit and wait on it. And these usually go pretty fast. It's surprising. They never sit that long for me. I always get lots of offers trying to lowball right in the beginning, and then I just kind of wait it out and usually get what I'm asking for. Someone just asked if anyone's selling Mercari. I am currently not selling Mercari. I've contemplated Poshmark. I know a lot of the other sellers are doing well with Poshmark. I just haven't had the mental capacity since getting back in routine to start to learn how to kind of differentiate and do both. Here is Jan Barnes. It's an XL slim fit. I pick these up sometimes. I like picking up the slim fits. This was like a darker, like blackish, looks like kind of like a dark purple with black pinstripes. So it was a desirable style with a flip cuff, like a Glen Plaid flip cuff. Probably 25 shipped for these. I've had bad luck with these for like really dull plain patterns. They haven't done well for me. This is a pretty cool shirt. This was Tommy Bahama, and I'm pretty selective with my Tommy Bahama stuff nowadays. If it doesn't have a really cool pattern, I don't really pick up the bland stuff anymore. I only pick up silk and linen now. I pretty much have stopped picking up the cotton dress shirts. But this was 100% linen, and it's just this really cool like teal check. It's in great condition, especially with like that spring summer season coming up. Having a lot of this stuff on hand is going to be great. So I've been trying to stock up on that. I look at the shorts section a lot the last couple of times, I'm trying to get ahead and get ready for the spring season. Last year I got killed because I didn't diversify and I didn't have enough other stuff, and it was like I crushed during the winter and then hit April and it just was like my sales just ceased to exist. So be mindful of that, guys. Now, I mean, now's the time over the next month and a half to be sourcing ahead for that season change. Here's American Eagle. This is still my go-to. I still pick this up. I just sold one for $20 shipped the other day. Get these for $3.99. Only the pearl snaps and only the vintage fit. That's all I pick up for American Eagle. But these there's this weird niche market for these, and they always sell for me. They're not super fast sellers, but I still get $18 to $22, $23 shipped for those without much of a problem. Again, here's a brand where I'm a lot more choosy when I pick it up. I used to always pick up anything Gitman Brothers. Now I pick up bigger sizes and desirable patterns. So this is like a green micro check, like a really light green micro check. Here's your logo if you can see it. And this was a size 1733, so a bigger size. I'm just making a lot pickier with some of these things, just because A, I'm trying to raise my average sell price, and B, I'm trying not to have a ton of stale inventory. Styles start to evolve, and you kind of try to keep up with it. So, yeah, this we got 52 watching live. I really appreciate that. If you don't mind hitting that like button for me, it kind of lets YouTube know that the content's valuable, and I appreciate it. It kind of gives me a little boost of confidence to keep bringing videos to you guys. Here's a brand I haven't found in a long time. It's Barbour, B-A-R-B-O-U-R. There's embroidered there. This is a basic cotton shirt. Probably get 25 to 30 shipped for this one. If it was like a lot of like the half blends, like the 50% wool and cotton shirts, they do really well. I usually get like 35 to 40 for those. But again, it's just a good solid brand. I pick it up anytime I find it, pretty much. What do we got here? Here is a dark green. It's a Brooks Brothers extra fine merino wool sweater. It's actually a merino wool and nylon blend, but mostly wool. Sorry, the lighting keeps just getting crazy in the video there. Sorry. But I picked these up. They're like these lightweight, this V-neck sweaters. I always grab them as long as they're not shrunk. Here's a tip: when you pick up wool sweaters, especially dress sweaters, make sure they weren't shrunk in the wash, because they pretty much have to be dry cleaned only or air dried. Oh, sorry. And I made a mistake early on picking up a wool one and selling it as the tag size, and it was not even close to the tag size. So just make sure you give them an extra once over so you don't make that mistake. Here is an older Tiger Woods collection golf polo shirt. And I wouldn't normally pick up a lot of these, but this one was pretty darn unique. Had crazy blue gradients on it, from left to right, kind of that light blue to dark blue. Had the vents in the back, has the metal snaps in the front. I still think there's a decent market for these. Probably 20 to 25 shipped. I'll have to do a little more research, but I didn't actually look in the store, but it's flawless. And it's so unique that I was like, golf season's coming up. I'll take a shot on it at $3.99. Here's another one that I got for me, but I'm probably going to list and wear. It's just a plain Under Armour polo. Usually can get like 20 shipped for these. They're a lot slower movers than they used to be. But I knew I would wear this. Golf season coming up. I'm going to golf a lot more, so I've been trying to pick up polos as I find them that I like. Someone said, what's my opinion on Joseph A. Banks button-up shirts? I wear them for work. I don't resell them, though. And someone said, would you still pick up Brooks Brothers dress shirts? Yeah, I only pick up the Brooks Brothers non-iron slim fits, and then if it has the Golden Fleece logo on the front. I don't pick up the polo shirts that much anymore unless I find a bunch of the same size in the same section, and I can lot them together. Otherwise, I pretty much pass on them. All right, a couple more things to get through here, guys. I'll switch over to the electronics. I got 3 clothing items, and then I'll do some more Q&A. Here are some men's, 7 for All Mankind. They are, they're zipper fly, and I think it is just the boot cut line. And so I just sold a pair of men's size 33s for $40 shipped when I was in the Goodwill, actually, when I found these, I think. Let me look. Yeah, $40 shipped. So that's probably right about what these will sell at. These are very similar to those. And a good tip from last time I did one of these videos is if you can fit your whole hand in the front pocket, then it's pretty much men's, because women's you normally can't, especially as a guy. Also, the size of the back pockets, the width of them is a good indicator. Learned that from Jason over on Prof Sales, because I sometimes have a hard time telling whether they're women's or men's. And so those 2 things have pretty much kept me straight. And then this was pretty cool. So Brooks, the running brand, kind of that high-end running sneaker brand. This is a running jacket. It's vented. It's got a lot of these silver reflectors on them. It's like a bright green. I know the lighting's awful for some reason, which makes no sense. I have umbrella lights everywhere. But it's like a bright green and black, full zip, in great condition. Saw comps about $30 for this. It's super lightweight. Paid $4.99 for it. Got it. They gave it to me for like the blazer price. It was supposed to be $6.99, I think, technically as a jacket, but I'll take it either way. It was a pretty cool find. And then this is cool. Found a new tags FootJoy, and it's got, you know, obviously there's an embroidery for probably a company at some point, but there's no text on it. It looks like it's a registered trademark, so I'm wondering what it is. If anyone knows, it could be like a financial firm or something. I'm not really sure. But I'll probably get 25 for this without much of a problem, especially since there's not a lot of words on it. I mean, and it's new tags. If someone does know what that logo is, they'll let me know, because if it's a well-known company, I will market it as so. All right, so here's the other way I've been starting to diversify this year. One is, more shoes, doing a little more retail arbitrage with Marshalls and things like that when I have the chance. And then this other main way is starting to do kind of the hard good electronics section. Some more like the vintage type stuff, not vintage, but kind of discontinued stuff. So the first one I found, this was keep in mind, this was $3.99. Tested it pretty thoroughly in the store, the best that I could. It's a 6-disc changer. It's by Pioneer, and comps looked easily over $50 plus shipping, whatever shipping you need to do. So it was pretty solid at $4, pretty solid buy. Starting to get my setup down for doing photos for these. Can use the light box pretty much for it, which is nice. It'll turn out clean, which I'm really happy about. I just ordered a bulk thing of the AV cables that go in the back. This one actually came with it, but I ordered a bunch of these just to have on hand. So if the units are missing it, that was a tip from Craigslist Hunter. So it was a great video. I really encourage anyone to watch this video, especially if you're trying to diversify a bit. Krillin just gave a $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, Krillin. Krillin been a big member of the reselling community, probably a lot longer than I have, and drops a lot of good knowledge out there. So very thankful. He asked a question. He said, how are the photos coming out with the photo box? Does it matter on room lighting? Do you take pics through the small boxes or open end? Great questions. So far, I've loved the photo box. I'll give kind of 2 or 3 follow-up feedback from my tutorial video. Definitely can do it cheaper if you're not worried about the mobility of the unit. So like if you can have a static, if you have a lot of room, and you could build one with like the poster board, not poster board, but like the foam poster board, like the more sturdy stuff. Jason built one on Prof Sales pretty cheaply. So like it just really depends what you're looking for. For me, I take it through the big opening. I don't take it through the small opening. So I just turn off all the lights and I have that, and it's been fine for me. And I use my iPhone without much of an issue. As far as like my one complaint, and it's the same one that someone told me before I even ordered it, it's just like an item this big is about your max for being able to keep it all white and not see seams and stuff like that. So that's definitely a drawback to it. And that's why, like, if you had a big space, like setting up huge foam boards in like a corner of a room and having your lighting stuff that way is definitely the better way to go. I just don't have space for that. Like, I have one room dedicated to eBay here. I have a mannequin setup, I have a flat lay station, and then I have that. So I'm able to do all three in here. And then that I'll be able to take with me when I do some, kind of traveling sourcing trips, and I can just use that and do flat lays in it and stuff. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, so let me put that one back there. And then this one, from the same store, it was priced at $4.99. And this is the Sylvania. It's like a DVD VHS combo. And again, comps look really solid. Came with a remote. Worked really well. And tested it as thoroughly as I could in the store. I'll test it a little further here. But again, at $5, this is kind of a no-brainer. Easily over 50 with shipping. So, and plus shipping. And then last one is a Sony product. And this is a this is the VHS DVD combo as well. It's the SLV D2A 1P. And again, this one was $8 or $7.99. But again, well over $50 plus shipping. So kind of a no-brainer there. Krillin, yep, I shut the lights off all the way when I'm doing the light box. I just have the light in the box, and then the lights in my room are off. That seems to work the best. I've done both. It's not bad either way. I mean, it's still doable, but that's what I've enjoyed, and that's what I've seen the best results for. So that's what I got, guys. That was only 2 stores, but decent amount there. I'm gonna try to get most of this listed this weekend. I'm gonna source more tomorrow to get enough items to list during the week because I'm actually starting to run a little low on inventory. Someone said anything Sony is an automatic buy. Yeah. So I kind of put a rule in place for myself that if I can't get $50 plus shipping for it, I'm not going to pick it up. Just because I'm anticipating returns will be a little more frequent with it. There's a little more testing for it, so a little more time that goes into it. So for me, like that $50 threshold, especially based on pricing, is what I'm going to be doing. Someone asked if I was doing well with the Fashionable dress shirts. No, I actually don't pick them up at all anymore. I'm still selling off the ones I have. I get like $16 to $20 for them shipped usually, but they're super, super slow sellers. Someone said, so watch an older chat of yours with Chris, Dave. Oh, your 2018 goal is 90K versus 100K for 2017. Did you abandon the idea of scaling up to 1 million or 10 million reseller biz, not the career you want to pursue? Those are all great questions. So I've kind of addressed them in little videos here and there, so I definitely understand the question. So first of all, the video with Dave way back when was awesome because I got to learn a lot and talking with him just kind of about the scaling aspect of it, the warehouse aspect of it, all the things that go into it. And, since that conversation, I've stumbled into real estate, which really has caught my interest. We now have my first rental property, which is, cash flowing now. I'm looking to buy a duplex here in like the late spring, early summer. I'm working on a real estate agent to identify a good buy, hopefully by then. It may take a little longer, but that's the target time. And so once I decided that real estate was going to be a big part of my game plan portfolio, reselling is still a big part of it. But what that became is my transactional way to fund my real estate portfolio, because I still enjoy reselling. But to me, reselling is very transactional, and the only way to make it not transactional is to basically scale it with staff so that you're not doing the transactional piece, which is totally fine and awesome. And a lot of people do a great job with it. For me, it was scaling real estate was more interesting to me, and it was a lot more on wealth creation and something that I could have an exit strategy for, whenever I wanted to get out of things. Whereas on reselling, you scaling a business to a warehouse size and things like that, if you ever decided to get out of that, I don't know what the end game is there to try to sell all of it. Like, I feel like you have to just kind of liquidate. I'm not sure that you'd be able to just like turnkey sell that as well, unless you had a property you owned and things like that. You might be able to. I don't really know. I don't know a lot about it, so I don't want to give too much of an opinion on it. But to me, it just made sense. I like doing both. And so if I could, with the same amount of time invested last year, sell basically 30,000 more than I sold this past year, then and use that to funnel, buying a property or two each year for the next 3, 4, 5 years, that puts you in a really good position moving forward. So hopefully that answers. I know it's a really long-winded question or answer. It's a great question. Oh, someone said that logo is Ducks Unlimited. Awesome. Appreciate that. Someone said, question, Luke, are you doing anything to prevent scamming, tamper tags, etc.? For the electronics, I'm not sure. I need to do a little research on that. I know there's some ways to mark them and do some things like that, so I may. We will see. Krillin said, Super Bolo on electronic Sony Beta Max players. Buy even if broken. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Also, an update. So I did my 2017 results, and I said that I sold $54,000 because that was what my 12-month rolling average said on like the 2nd of January. It was off by $8,000. Like, I don't know what's going on with eBay in their back end, but it's pretty ridiculous. So I totaled my sales using the My eBay sales report, or the sales feature where you can filter by month. I filtered it by every month and added up, and I got to 62,000. I did an extract of the archive reports and got to 61,000. And then if I looked at the trailing 12 months on your dashboard for My eBay, I was at 54,000. Made no sense. So it did a PayPal extract, messed around with that to confirm, and it really was 62. It was about 62.4. So I hit what made more sense to me because I've been tracking it all year. When I did it, I'm like, this doesn't add up. So I ended up selling $62,400 worth of stuff on eBay last year, which was nice because it's basically $20,000 more than I sold the year before. So a solid 50% growth. And yeah, Krillin, using the PayPal is definitely more accurate. And I got all my tax stuff buttoned up and loaded for my CPA the weekend ago. So that's why I kind of really dove into that. Now having a rental property, like I can't recommend guys having a good CPA that can work with you tax strategy, like being able to work with him the whole back half of the year and get ready for having a rental property, an eBay business. I basically contract consulting work that's actually W-2'd. And like just a couple other things like that makes it real interesting on the tax side. My profitability was 57%. Was the percent pre-tax, like before all the fluff, like taking mileage and all that stuff out, which is I think it's pretty solid. My goal is pretty much I want to hit 90, and I want to stay above 50% profitability. I think if I can do that, I can comfortably buy 2 properties a year in the area I'm at, to kind of reinvest in that real estate portfolio. So I'm really happy with that as a part-time seller. I mean, for the hours I spend in it, like that's a good ROI for me, and I really enjoy it. Any other questions, guys? Oh, someone asked about Taylor Bird dress shirts. I don't, but they do look sharp. Taylor Bird stuff reminds me a lot of like Thomas Dean did, like a lot of flip cuff stuff, Robert Graham-esque. But no, I don't pick them up. They don't sell very well. All right. I'll hold for another second, see if you have any other questions. I do appreciate everyone hanging in and watching. It was a pretty productive afternoon for only stopping at 2 stores. I'm going to try to get my January video up tomorrow, just kind of do a recap before we get too deep here into February. It was, by the way, the worst sales month I've had since 2016. It was pretty. Now, when I do the video, I'll do more detail, but I definitely am the one to blame. Like, I didn't list at all for 4th quarter because of the wedding, the rental house, all that stuff. So sales starting to pick up now that I'm actually working on business again. So Colin asked if I learned more about Airbnb. I checked that channel you suggested, but it isn't interactive. Oh, that's a bummer. They just put out a really good piece on Airbnb profit maximization. I haven't watched it, though. I do need to learn more about it, Carolyn. I just haven't. I mean, it's everything I've read in general, though, is like short-term rentals is the highest ROI, but it's also the hardest to scale. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks so much for stopping in. Hit that like button for on the way out. We got 70 watching live and about 28 likes, so would appreciate that. English Laundry, I no longer pick up anymore. Someone just asked about that brand. I have some I'm selling off. They're very slow sellers. I don't pick those up any longer. Not that you shouldn't at the right price point. I'm trying to hit a $25 like bare minimum average sale price, trying to get 35 on average for my whole business. So, all right, guys, have an awesome night. Thanks so much again for stopping in. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Endless Entrepreneurs, and I will be back shortly with a January sales update video. See you guys.